好啦，咁咧我哋而家咧不如望一望 Kingsley 為我哋準備啲咩啊？因為咧 Kingsley 咧見到我哋咧每次課堂開始嗰陣時咧都有啲叫做 dead air 嘅時間喎，咁所以咧 Kingsley 咧就為我哋咧準備咗錄製咗一個係啦，錄製咗呢一個 Scratch 嘅一個平台啦。咁咧大家見到咧其實就係會有啲片啦，有啲 animation 啦，呢個咧全部都係 Kingsley 為我哋準備嘅。咁我哋不如聽一聽呢個音樂。係一個預告片啦，有請 Kingsley， 唔該，可以開一開喇叭。Kingsley 時間啱啱好啦，10點鐘準時開始。咁不如咧，我哋就兩個小朋友喺我呢邊咧靜少少先。我哋咧為大家簡單介紹下今日我哋嘅新嘅 series 啦。呢個咧叫做Out of Code Hong Kong 嘅小老師課堂。咁我哋咧作為第一位小老師咧，我哋邀請阿 Kingsley 姐就為我哋咧就分享。咁大家早前應該都上過佢嘅課堂噶啦。咁今次咧我哋就希望 Kingsley 咧為我哋分享一下。高階版嘅一個地球反擊戰嘅一個小遊戲，咁入邊咧大家見到咧，其實都係有用到好多唔同嘅一啲技巧，包括 cloning 啦，包括咧原來有啲數學嘅運算喎，點樣揾一個絕對數值啦，同埋咧你見到個飛機咧喐嚟喐去咧，其實係一個波浪形嘅，咁到底點做咧？其實一陣間阿 Kingsley 咧會同大家分享噶啦。咁咧有啲朋友咧第一次嚟嘅，咁唔緊要 ，Kingsley 咧佢一陣間會同大家咧。由初步去分享啦，咁但係咧有啲朋友仔咧可能都係 Kingsley 嘅同學仔，我見佢咧又好開心。咁咧為咗簡單介紹俾大家知道邊個係 Kingsley 咧，我而家準備咗少少資料啦，多謝 Kingsley 嘅爸爸媽媽支持啦。咁 Kingsley 係一個小學4年班南拔附屬小學嘅學生啦。咁今日咧都有佢嘅同學仔喺現場，歡迎你哋。咁佢除咗寫程式之外咧，佢好中意音樂啦、讀書啦，同埋咧就係即係寫文啦，好中意嘅喎。另外咧喺編程嘅經歷入邊咧，其實佢學識咗 Scratch 啦、Python 啦，同埋 Roblox， 咁都係一個好全球都好知名嘅一個編程平台啦。咁喺學習當中咧，當然獲獎嘅梗係開心啦。但係我諗獲獎咧只係一個即係額外嘅一個附屬品啦。咁我哋不如聽聽 Kingsley 攞啲咩獎好唔好啊？佢曾經攞咗 CodeQuest 嘅 Second Prize 全球嘅一個比賽啦，咁2等獎。另外咧攞咗香港區嘅International Coding Elite Challenge。香港同埋澳門賽區嘅冠軍，2021年，啱啱個都係2021年嘅。另外咧就攞咗一個金獎Scratch Hong Kong International Computational Olympic 嘅 Heat Run 嘅2019-20年嘅金獎。咁咧我諗佢嘅過程當中咧都有好多嘅經歷啦。我哋咧事不宜遲啦，不如聽聽今日 Kingsley 嘅分享好嘛？有請 Kingsley，Thank you。
大家好，咁我就係 Kingsley。今日我就會教你做一個 Scratch project， 咁就叫做 Earth Invasion， 就係地球反擊戰咁樣啦。咁我哋就要先入去我哋嘅 Scratch link 先，咁我就會分享個畫面啦。咁你首先就要入 Scratch link 啦。如果你唔知 Scratch 點串嘅話，咁你就喺 Google search Scratch 啦，咁跟住就會有噶啦。咁事不宜遲，大家如果已經入咗去 Scratch 嘅話，我就可以開始上堂啦。咁 Today we are going to have this Earth Invasion project, and now I'm going to speak English because our lesson is going to be used with English. So first, we need an account. So if you don't have an account, then you can go to the Scratch website. Then you can find the Join Scratch on the top right. You press the Join Scratch button, and then you want to make a username, and then you want to make a password. So OK，
你繼續啊，唔緊要，我會幫你處理個 noise 噶啦。同學仔請記得 unmute 自己，我會 disable 大家嘅開咪嘅時間。請繼續。
So you want to click and join Scratch, and then you create your username and your password, and then you will soon have an account and you will be able to log into it. If you have an account, then you want to sign in on the top right button right here. And then you want to sign in your username and password, and you're done. So then you would go into the Scratch link. And if everyone can log into their account or make an account and log into it, then you can press 1 in the chat. So, okay, now we can continue our lesson. As everyone has already logged into their accounts, then we can start our lesson. So first, I'm going to go to our chat, and then I'm going to send the link to remixing. So you're going to remix this project. So as you can see, I have pasted a link in the chat room. So you're going to click onto the link right here. And then when you sign in to your account, then you should have this green button right here. And then when you press on it, it will go into your My Stuff tab. So I'm going to show it to you. So first you go into the sprite right here. Then on the top right corner, you should see this remix green button. Click on it, and then you should have your remix right here.
Something looks kind of wrong. Yours are different from ours. Like you have the code ready, the Scratch code ready, but we don't have it ready.
Because today you're going to code the Scratch, and we haven't coded yet. So when we officially start our lesson, so we can start coding. So as you can see, actually here, you click on it, right? And then you should not have any scripts inside it. So once you have remixed it with inside your account, then the project will be inside your account, and then we can start coding. So if you can do this, then you press 2 in the chat, and we'll start our chapter A in our Scratch lesson. So again, I'm going to showcase one more time. Go to the chat, click on the link, then press the green button that is remix, should be right here. When you click on it, then you will have the remix. And when you remixed it and we start coding, you can add some different elements from your own ideas, and then we can have some sharing at the end of this lesson. So as I can see, some people has already have this too. So we're not gonna wait because we need to start right now. So let's see. Right here. Okay, this one has the scripts. So it's not this one. How about this one? No, this one still has its right scripts. Let me see. Oh, there you go. So click on it, then click on the remix button. And now we have a remix of nothing but these stuff. Okay, so now we are going to start our Scratch lesson right now. So chapter is going to be moving our player plane, okay? So first, we want to hide all the other sprites because we are going to use our player plane sprite, which is this one, this yellow one right here. So click onto the enemy planes, which is right here. And this show tab is going to be not to show. And then the enemy planes right here is not showing. Click onto the enemy planes 2, which is here. Then you're going to click onto the not show button, also right here. Then, okay, so once you click into the project, you should be inside the sprite player plane right here, as you can see, right? And then next to it, there should be this enemy planes right in the sprites tab. Now click onto this enemy planes right here. And then there should be this tab right here, which shows some sprite names, and then the X and Y, and then the show size and direction. We're gonna not to show it. So you just simply click the no eye button. And then you're going to click onto the enemy planes 2 sprite, which is next to the enemy planes 2 and planes 1. And then I'll not show it by clicking on this button. Now next to it is the bullets. Finally, we don't show it by clicking the no eye button. There you go. So after you have hidden all the sprites, we are ready to go. Click back onto the player plane sprite, which should be on first. And then we're gonna click on it on the screen, which is here. When you click on it, we're gonna drag it to the bottom here. So that it will be on the bottom, and then we will move it on the bottom. When we move it on the bottom, the enemies on top will fly down, and then we will shoot them with our bullets. So that's the main idea for our game. Right. Here in the player plane, I think it's too small. So in this tab area right here, there is this size tab right here. So you're gonna click it, and we're gonna change it to 100. So it is now bigger. If you want it to be smaller than 90 or 85, so 85 is okay. Yeah, let's try 85. I think 85 is good. Yes, okay. So drag it here on the bottom, and then you select the size to 85. Now we're gonna code. So as you can see, when we click the screen flag right here, nothing happens. Our player plane should be able to follow our mouse. So right here, we have the scripts tab. We're going to start coding. First, we will have this one green flag clicked in the events tab. So this motion, looks, sound, events. Aha, we found events. Then at the very top first, we have when green flag clicked. So we're going to click on it and drag it to the event, to the scripts tab. Okay, so we have this one green flag click hat shape block here. Now we are going to repeat several times, infinitely times, until we click onto this. Oops.
It's kind of a glitch for me. even when I drag it, it just like disappears.
So you need to drag it to the, what is that?
Yeah, I know. I dragged it for almost 10 times, almost 30 times, and it's still disappearing.
Oh, my screen just disappeared for some reason.
Don't worry. I put you as
That's
a host.
now glitching.
So don't worry. Just wait a second.
Try to type the stuff in the X and Y, the stuff. Yeah. Try to type the coordinates in the X and Y.
And now it's in there, but I can't seem to move it. Even when I move it, it's now here. But even when I move it, how do I say that? It still disappears to the bottom of it.
So
Can get it to the.
let's do it.
Get it up there, and I can't now. But the main problem is I can't delete it.
Can you see what
I can't delete it, and I can't make it upper. It keeps staying the lowest, and and I can't move it or delete that.
So you click into the player plane spot right here, and then you want to click onto the events, right? And then you click on this one, being like
this?
drag it right here. Drag
Sorry.
it right here.
The lesson today is a little bit more advanced. So I think for newbies, don't worry, you can just try to listen, because I really hope that Kingsley can share a bit more on the advanced feature for this lesson. Okay, so I will just ask Kingsley to move forward. For those students who just joined today's lesson the first time, I recommend you to watch our previous video, and you can get familiar with that. Okay, so because the time is running out, already 15 minutes gone. So stay focused. Thank you.
Okay, under the events, we're gonna loop this infinity times. So is not repeat, it's going to be forever. So we simply click onto the forever, and then we drag it to under the when green flag clicked. So as you can see, when green flag clicked, it will run forever, but there's nothing. So we would like to move our plane. So we simply first point towards our mouse pointer, so it will point towards it to point towards our mouse pointer. So let's find this point towards mouse pointer. Under this point in direction 90, I think we found it. There's the point towards mouse pointer. Click on it and drag it. So you move it into the forever loop, and then it will snap onto the forever loop. Click on the green flag right here, and our player plane is pointing the direction that our mouse pointer is. Then we want it to move. So simply on the top of this motion category, you want to have this move. As you can see, move something steps. So you drag it under this point towards mouse pointer, and then let's set it to 20. So 20 would be fast. And now when you click into let's run the project, and wow, our player plane is now just following our mouse pointer like insane. Negative 140, so that it is on the bottom. So bottom is going to be negative, and up top there is kind of a positive. So once we have this, let's see, go to motion tab again, which is blue, and then scroll down. Under change Y by, we have the set Y. So we want to set the Y to something. So we click on the set Y, and then we drag it down right here. Click the green flag, and there you go. Our player plane stays right down there and doesn't move up or down. So it will be good if our player plane would just not be pointing downward because it looks pretty weird. But now I see this. Cyrus says that he wants to define the blocks into only one block. So you can, and we can do that right now, right? So if you don't know what function means, then let's just move to this my blocks, which is right here.
Kingsley,
So-
sorry. I suggest we cover this advanced feature later on, not to divert the progress of the student, because we do have some newbies. So for the advanced features, I suggest we can cover that at the end of the lesson. Thank you.
Okay. So let's just continue for this player plane because we are pointing towards this bottom edge right here. So let's use this if then, which means that if a condition is yes, then we will do something else. Now go to the control. So under this forever loop, we can click onto this. You find this if then. So we drag it under right here, set y to -140. So under here, if or direction, which is this is a block that's variable that is already in our Scratch, so we don't need to make it. This direction right here is in the motion tab. So as you can see, this motion tab, we scroll down right to the bottom and you can see there is this direction block right here. So that's, as you can see, there is some holes here, and then when we click on it, it will tick. And then let's run the project. As you can see, now we can see the direction of the player plane right here. So we want to make it only do this and not just like glitching like that. So I'm gonna make it to a certain area and it will stop its direction, and even though I point towards the bottom right here, it won't point towards the bottom. So how can we do this? Well, we are going to use the operators. Under sensing right here, which is light blue, we find this operators, which is green. Let's click on this smaller one. Smaller than and bigger than. Smaller than is that if something is smaller than something, then it will be this. So it will be doing something else. So we're going to click on this and then drag it into the hexagon shaped gap inside the if then block. So we're going to use the direction variable that we found in the player plane and then motion right up top here. We're going to scroll down and find this direction. Click onto it and drag it to this smaller than function, which is here. Okay, direction is smaller than something called like -40. So it is smaller than -40, then it will stay the same. So we find this point in direction, something on top of point towards mouse pointer still in the motion tab. We click onto this point in direction and we drag it inside. Point in direction something, which is, let's try -40, which we have already made here. We're gonna do the same for the other direction, which is positive. So there's an easy way to do that. Just click, duplicate on this if and duplicate, click it, and there you go. Put it into the forever loop and set them smaller than, we're going to use greater than. So under sensing, we're going to cut back to the operators and we're going to use the bigger than. So we just simply drag it to our code tab. And we're going to replace everything with this. So move this direction inside this circle shaped and now it's going to be 40. So if our direction is bigger than 40, we're going to point in direction of 40. So move away to smaller than and delete it. So move it right here. So to delete it and click on it and put it inside the hexagon shape. Now, if it is bigger than 40, then it will be pointing directions in 40. So we simply click 40 inside here. Point in direction 40. Easy enough, right? Okay, good. Click the green flag to check what happens. Oh yes. Now our player plane won't be like pointing downwards, and now we are ready to go. Yes, our player plane is moving very good, and it will glide and it looks beautiful. Okay, so that is the end for chapter A, which is moving our player plane. So if you can do this, then press A in the chat so let me know that you do this. So remember, it is in the player plane. So let me go over. When green flag clicks right here, we have this forever loop, which is surrounding everything. Point towards the mouse pointer and then move 20 steps. So we're gonna move and then set the y to -140. So our player plane will stay under here in the bottom. If direction is smaller than -40, then it will point in direction in -40. If direction is bigger than, say, point in direction 40, so it won't glitch. So it works pretty good. So you can check our code for now. And once we are ready to go now, should be easy. Okay, put into the enemy plane, which is next to our player plane. Okay, so Kaden says, okay. We are going to code our enemy plane and we don't have much time, so we're gonna do it right now. So we're gonna click on the enemy plane right here in the sprites tab. Good. Okay, so again, go to the events tab and then drag this green flag clicked to the enemy planes. Then go to control under the events and drag this forever loop under here. So we are going to make it faster because we are already good with this part. Now we are going to have this whole new section called clones. What does clones mean? Clones means that we already have this sprite right here. So we're going to make some more, but it won't make the enemy planes other. So we're gonna make this right here. So cloning is a feature that allows a sprite with shear to create a copy of itself, which is here, while the project is running. Each clone has the same costumes, sounds, scripts, and variables as the original, which is here, which is called the parents, but it's otherwise independent, which this clone has its independent thoughts. This clone has an independent thoughts, and this one has independent thoughts too. Now, let's get coding. So we're gonna use this create clone of myself. So we have a lot of enemy planes. So in the control section, scroll under right here, under this when I start as a clone. Click onto the create clone of myself and drag it into the forever. right here. So now we should have this. Forever create clone of myself. When you create clone of myself, then we would like to make it show up top here, and then we want them to come down and to get our player playing. Okay, so we are going to start coding, and on top of this create clone of myself, this is when I start a clone, so we drag it here. Good. When we start as a clone, what do we want to do? Then we want to have some scripts for our clone. So at first, we want to make them on top here and the random of X. So go to motion, and then we have this go to X and Y. Under this go to random position, and we drag this go to under the when I start the clone. Go to
He's lagging.
a range of some numbers. We're gonna pick one randomly, right? So we're gonna click on it and drag it to the inside the X shape. Click on it, and then we want it to be different. So it's going to be like negative 300 maybe to 300. I mean, should be negative 200 to 200 if you want. Yeah, let's do that. And then the Y would be up top, which is the highest positive. So let's make it to 180, which is the highest the Y can get. So there we go. Then we want to show our clone enemy plane, but not to show our own enemy plane, which is the sprites. So only show the clones. So in the when I start the clone, go to looks under the motion and find this show, which is on top of hide. Show this, drag it under right here. Now, when we show, okay, good. So let's click the green flag, and as you can see, oh my God, there are lots of enemy planes right here. Oops. Okay, good. There you go. We're back. And then the clones get into the limit of 300, and then it stops cloning. So we're gonna make them come down. So we want to find this repeat until. So this repeat until is a new block. But first, we want to make two variables. So here are variables. We want to make one variable. One is going to be called angle, which is the angle that our enemy planes will be moving. Okay, let's set it to for display only and click OK. So we have an angle for only the sprites of this enemy plane. Angle. Then another one for the sprite only. Also, it's going to make, let's make it times. Well, I will say what it means later, but first let's just make this variable for it, and also untick the box right here in the variables tab. Now we're gonna set this and this right here, and then now I'm gonna show you something that I have already made, and this is going to be a little game that I have made for this cosine example right here. So as you can see, there are Goombas that is moving in a cosine wave line. So and times is for the sprite only. There we go. So as you can see, the green bars are in the waveform, which is what we're going to do now for our oops, try that again. Good. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to click back in and then go back to my enemy planes. What we're going to set the angle to, okay, so we're going to use another pick random, so we just duplicate this inside the X. There we go. And then pick random 150 to 180, something like that. So then we want to make the times, which is going to be like this. So the angle should be -200 to 0. Just pick random right here, and then the time should be pick random 150 to 180. So there we go. Let's just make this. So if everyone can do this, we can press B1 in the chat. Good. Now let's continue. Under the show, we're going to use another repeat answer like we used. And now here we have the repeat answer right here. So we're gonna click it onto here. Now the repeat answer we're going to use this. It means that repeat until something. So repeat until we have this condition made, and when this condition is not made yet, then we are going to repeat the code that is in the loop. Once we are good to go and have the condition good and open, right? It is yes, then it will go down and continue to code down there. If it's still no, then we could still continue to code inside the repeat until. So we drag this repeat until under wait until in the control tab. Repeat until something. Let's make it, let's go to operators. And let's use a smaller than. Okay, so let's drag this inside the hexagon shaped gap inside right here. So if our Y position is smaller than something, which is negative, let's make it -170. So let's go to motion up right here, and we're gonna use another built-in variable called Y position, which is under X position and on top of direction. Click on it and drag it. Let's make it repeat until Y position is smaller than like -170. And then so repeat until Y position is smaller than -170. We want to move down, so our enemy planes would move down. So under, let's go back to the motion. Under set X, we have change Y. Drag this change Y to the repeat until. But change Y by 10, it means that they are going up because it is positive. So we want to make the enemy planes go down. So let's make it like -3. There we go. And now let's click. And oh my God, look at all those clones. And then they're just falling down like rain. Okay, but that's not what we want. We want them to have this cosine wave. So we're going to make use of our angle and times right now. let's see. I'm gonna set this. Okay, cosine meaning. So I'm gonna find a simple cosine for this. There we go. So it is a wave line right here. Okay, good. So this cosine is green right here. So it starts on 1 and then drops down to -1 and go back to 1, then drops down to -1 and go back up to 1. There is also one cosine. So it is going to be on top. It starts in -0.5 and goes up to 1 and then goes back to -1 and 1. So cosine and sine are just the opposite. So when sine is on the top, cosine is on the bottom. And when sine is in the bottom, cosine is in the top. So it is opposite. So as you can see, there is a wave line. So we need, but it only goes from 1 to -1. And it hardly makes any difference in Scratch. So we made that to variable. Remember it, it's times. So we're gonna times that by like the variable. So when there's a times variable, which is a lot bigger, it's like 150 to 180 of pick random, then it will move from a certain this negative place and it move to the positive place and go back and go back and go back. So now we are using vertical and not horizontal. So we simply just flip this photo around and there we go, it is vertical. So let's go back to our scripts right here. Good. We're going to use a set X. So click on the set X, which is under the change X. Drag the set X right here and snap it on top of change Y inside the repeat until. Okay, let me just, there we go. And now there, it's going to be the fun part. Go to operators right here. And then we're going to find something called cosine. So it's right here, but as you can see, you can find cosine right here. But right here, as you can see, there's an absolute of something. Drag it inside this circle-shaped thing. But it's not going to be set X. It's not going to be absolute. So we're going to make it another thing. So click onto the absolute and find cosine. As you can see, there is COS right under sine, which is cosine, and this is the sine. So we're going to click under cosine right here. And we're going to set X to cosine of what? Cosine of the angle, which is in the variables. But we have our times variable right here. So we go to operators and drag this times variable right here. Times variable. There we go. And we have this times operator from the operators and times variable from the variables. And finally, cosine of angle, we plug it into here and put it back into the settings. Oh ho, this is going to be our test. Oh no, it's not working. As you can see, it is the enemy planes are still falling down like this and they are not moving their set X. What is happening here? Okay, let's see. Set X to cosine of angle. Then we times the times. Let's see. So let's see what we did wrong. So I'm gonna see this right here. Let's click into my cosine example. Let's see if we did anything wrong. Oh, yes, because we need to change our angle by -3. So that our angle keeps changing, so our sprites can change. Left and right, left and right. Good. Let's do this again. So on top of set X, we're going to go to the variable spot right here, and we're gonna drag this change on top of right here. Change the angle by, let's do -3, something like that. So let's click onto green, and yes, look at this swarm. They're just moving like left and right and left to right. And finally, when they reach the rock bottom, we want to make them delete itself. So click onto the control and find this delete this clone, and then drag to this repeat until right down here. And now let's try this again. Let's do this. Oh my god, look. And then when they go down, they disappear. Okay, this looks amazing. But one more thing is that I want them to point into my direction, so they face into my direction, so they look like they are enemies. So that's simple. We just go to the motion and find this point towards, and then drag it inside right here. Point towards, clear plane, right? Let's try this. Let's try this again. Click onto the green flag, and yes, they are now just pointing towards me, and they look very scary. Okay, there is too much, so we're gonna use our wait seconds. So go to control, and at the top we have wait something seconds. Drag this wait something seconds under create clone of myself. This you can make it 0.5 or 0.3 or 0.4. Let's try 0.3 right here. Let's click onto, and wow, look at that. It's not a tornado right here, but it is pretty good too. So it looks like an enemy swarm. So that's good. Okay. Okay. Now finally, first we're just going to see that if you can do this part, then we're going to press B2 in the chat. So press B2 in the chat if you can do this tornado, or you can do this.
Yeah, it's not great for me. They're not the same. They're in a straight line. Even
Yeah, me too. They're going down in a straight line.
yeah, and our code was the same as what yours was.
So you can check your code once more again. So as you can see, I'm going to make this right here. Okay, there we go. And then you can try copy this code again.
Kingsley, you can do a checkpoint. You can share your current snapshot, so the student can start from your current project and they can resume from there. This is another approach. Good lesson. You have 15 more minutes to go. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to have this photo right here, and then I'm going to send it in the chat. Now I'm gonna find this. So this is this code right here. Okay, it doesn't show the whole code. Yeah, okay, there we go. That it shows the whole code. I'm gonna there we go. And then I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I checked it already. But still, it's the same problem.
So can you just send snapshots of your code? Yeah.
Snapshots. I'll just share mine now because I can't do snap.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm on a PC.
Okay, but we need to get going because we don't have much time. So
Fine.
let's right here.
How about this? We can keep the last 5 minutes after 11 for the open debug session.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's forward and then we can add a debug session later on. Please continue.
Yeah. Okay, good. So here in the sprite bullets, we're going to also go to the events, which is when green flag clicked, and then control forever loop. And then we want to also create a clone of myself. But this time it's not going down, it's going to go up. And we're going to have to create a clone of myself. And then, but this time it won't create itself with nowhere. So it's going to be like if we are touching the space key. So we simply here if then we're going to drag this right here, and then we are going to have this bullets right here, and then we are going to go to the sensing, and then we want to find this key space pressed. So if the key space is pressed, then we're going to create our clone of myself, and then it's not going to go overload. I don't want it to do. So we're going to make it 0.2 seconds. We wait inside here. And now we're going to have the when I start as a clone here. So when I start as a clone, then we want to our bullets want to shoot up. So we're going to go to the player plane at first, and here on top of the go to XY and the motion tab, click this go to random position. But it's not going to be random position. It's not going to be mouse pointer. It's going to be a player plane. Click onto the player plane. Go to the player plane, and then we're going to show ourselves right here. Good. Now we're going to continuously go up. So we're going to use another repeat until underway until. Click it right here. Repeat until. Go to operators and use this greater than right here, which is under pick random. When, let's go to motion and let's find the Y position, which is a built-in variables right here. Click into here. This time it's going to be if it's bigger than 170. Okay, good. Click it here and repeat until Y position is bigger than 170. We are going to go upwards. So we simply go to motion and change our Y by 12, which is positive. We can make it 15, which is faster, and 10, which is slower. And then go to the motion and change Y by 12. I'm going to use 12. You can change it by clicking on this, and then you click your numbers into. So that's 12. And then once it reaches up there, we delete our clone and drag it down here. Click the green flag and give it a test. And now we have some really big bullets. Oops. It should be smaller, right? So we are going to set the size smaller by clicking onto the size tab right here. Let's click into 30. Okay, let's try that again. And there we go. We have smaller bullets. Maybe it's too small, then you can make it to 40. And then, okay, that's good. So this is some bullets. I'm gonna put this code for 1 more minute, and then we're calling the final section, which is make the enemies disappear when they touch the bullets. And our game stops if our enemy planes touch the player plane. So 1 minute, here we go. So if you can do this, press C in the chat. Okay, good. So we're gonna code the final section, which is D, and then we're going to code the planes. Yes, that is the best part of the game, other than the cosine part. So click into the enemy planes sprites inside the sprites tab, and then we're gonna use to if then. So go to control, and then we want to drag this if then under everything here inside the region. So if let's use another operator. Let's use a sensing, right? So when if it is key, no, it's not key, it's touching. Yes, it's on top here. If touching, we're gonna touching, let's touching bullets. Yes, if touching bullets, then we want to delete this clone. So we simply go to control and delete this clone. Oh yes, let's give it a test. Let's shoot our bullets, and yes, our enemy planes are disappearing. But also, when we're not shooting and the enemy planes approach me, I don't die. So what does that mean? Let's just stop the project right there. So we can just go to another if then in the airplane right here. With we're touching player, then we stop all, which is in the control section, and drag to stop all here inside. And that's the end for chapter D. Let's give it a test. Okay, let's just shoot some bullets, and when the enemy planes touch me, I should be able to die. Yes, there we go. And the whole game stops at the end. Yes, chapter D is ended, and our today's lesson has ended. Okay, chapter D. So if you can do this, press C, press D in the chat. Good. Okay, so we have 4 more minutes. Okay, so can someone please help me? Okay, so what is your problem?
Just as I said earlier, the enemies are still going in a straight line, and the code was the same as your screenshot.
So it is set x to cosine, right?
Yeah.
Of angle, and then it is times.
Yeah.
And okay, so
The top,
can you share your project? Can you share?
Share. Where's the share button?
Are you signed into your link?
Yeah, I'm signed in. Wait, let me do it again. Try.
So when you are signed in, there should be a share button.
Nope, there's still no share button, even when I'm signed. I'll just share the link of it. I think that would be better. I'll just share the link.
Okay. Does anybody else have this problem? Like you are also the code with me, but it is just going in a straight line?
Me. Yeah. Me too.
So,
but other than that, every code is like working.
Can you share your screenshots? Okay, I can see it. So there we go. I see the code.
Screenshot.
Yeah. I see the. So I'm gonna use this.
I shared my code already.
I know. I can see. Okay, I can see. Okay, I have an idea right here. Yes. Because
Don't worry.
this.
I think we can. How about we do like take turn? Now we move forward to the debug session. Would that be okay? Oh, you are
Yeah, so
creating
I'm gonna see this. Okay. Oh, there you go. I see it. Okay, let me see.
the strychnine. Now Kingsley is solving the strychnine problem. Everybody take a look. Our lesson today will be extended for 5 to 10 minutes. We will do a quick closing later on. Please continue, Kingsley.
Oh, I see the problem already. It's not angle times. It should be cosine of angle right here. Then click this cosine of angle inside. So it's not angle times. It should be cosine of angle times right here. So you click in and this time it should work, right? Yes, there you go. It works, right?
Well, how do I do it again?
You take a photo of this. Okay, you take a photo of what Kingsley is showing you.
Wait.
Okay.
So yeah,
Let me
I
do this
can't
again. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, we can.
do it
Watch.
still.
You
I
watch.
tried.
Lolo,
Watch
please.
it.
Enough. Okay, next one, please. Okay, Lolo. Kingsley, okay, so anybody else will need any other help? Okay, I think I'm going to do a quick closing here. First of all, I think all of you, Kingsley, I'm going to interview you. What's the major challenge for you to lead the lesson today? Jeffy, you are the next, just wait. Kingsley, what do you think? Is it easy to manage a lesson like this? 用廣東話講，你覺得點啊？今日個課堂難唔難啊？教一班
都唔係好難
一個人
其實
都唔係好難啫，覺得好啊你 good，係咪好有挑戰性啊？覺得自己好似完成咗一件事咁啊？
係嘅，係。其實今日都做唔晒嘅，但係都 OK 啦，已經，即係起碼都做到最基本嘅嘢。
呢個我同大家分享下啦。其實今日嘅課堂咧，其實係幾高難度嘅，因為我哋今日有第一次嚟嘅朋友啦，同埋大家留意到 Kingsley 佢嗰條 equation 叫 cosine of angles